Question number 1. The giant isopod are found in deep waters, feeding on dead organisms and live prey on the seabed. Based on the diagram, what are isopods classified under? Excellent choice. Crustacea is the right answer. Question number 2. Aristotle is said to be the first to classify organisms. Into which two groups did he classify all living things? Smart pick. Plants and animals is the correct choice. Question number 3. Observe the following chart of classification of black bear. Which animal is closely related to the black bear? On track, white bear is the correct answer. Question number 4. Members of which of the following kingdoms are single cells with considerable internal complexity? Great job. Protista is the accurate answer. Question number 5. Mina and Han observed an animal in their garden. Harry called it an insect, while Mina said it was an earthworm. Choose the character from the owing which confirms that it is an insect. Good job. Your answer, body with jointed legs, works well here. Question number 6. This group of plants is vascular and has seeds in cones. The name means naked seeds. Right again. Gymnosperms is a valid answer. Question number 7. Organisms in this smallest taxonomic group share many characteristics. Clear logic. Your choice species is sound and 100% true. Question number 8. My body is moist and smooth. I lay eggs and live in or near the water. What am I? Well picked. Amphibian is the correct answer. Question number 9. Which of the following is false with respect to aves? Statement I. 4 limbs are modified as wings. Statement I. They have beaks. Statement I. They all are eggs-laying animals. Nice selection. None of them is the correct and valid answer. Question number 10. This body is bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. However, the body is cylindrical rather than flattened. They have a pseudo-body cavity or a pseudocoelom. What is it? Bravo! Nematode is the answer. Question number 11. Sonia wants to study an organism having slimy skin that has gills in larval stage and lungs in adult stage. So, Sonia should select the organism belonging to class dash. Good thinking. Amphibia is the right answer. Question number 12. Choose the characteristics that animals must possess in the animal kingdom. You got it. Your choice eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotroph is right. Question number 13. Who first proposed binomial nomenclature as a way of classifying organisms? Strong choice. Carolus Linnaeus is the right answer. Question number 14. Which of the following is not a phylum present in the kingdom fungi? Great thinking. Cnidaria is the right choice. Question number 15. I have fur, I breathe with lungs, and I am warm-blooded. What am I? Solid response. Mammal is a valid choice. Question number 16. Which of the following kingdoms are not autotrophic in nutrition? Well done. Fungi is the right choice. Question number 17. Variety of species or richness in the number of species in an ecosystem throughout the entire biosphere. This statement refers to which type of diversity? Smart move. Species diversity is an accurate answer. Question number 18. Which group of invertebrate does the above organism belong to? Right choice. Arthropods is the best answer. Question number 19. Variety of habitats, biotic communities, an ecological process, and tremendous diversity within ecosystem. This statement refers to which type of diversity? Excellent. Ecosystem diversity is a brilliant choice. Question number 20. What kingdom? Eukaryotic, multi-celled photosynthetic. Valid point. Plant is true. Question number 21. I am covered in dry scales and I lay eggs. What am I? Correct response. Reptile is the most accurate answer. Question number 22. The scientific name for an organism is made from the... You're right. Genus and species name is the correct answer. Question number 23. A long flexible rod that runs along the dorsal axis of the body in the future position of the vertebral column. What is this long rod known as? You chose notochord, and it is correct. Question number 24. Which among the following has specialized tissue for conduction of water? Thalaphita, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms? Correct, and is the right answer. Question number 25. Deworming in schools is conducted by health department. The school is carried out to destroy the parasites of the category. Verb. Exactly. Nematohelminthes makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 26. What is the mode of nutrients in bacteria? Sharp thinking. Autotrophic and heterotrophic is the right choice. Question number 27. These plants are non-vascular and seedless. Nice work. You chose mosses and it is correct. Question number 28. They lay eggs with tough coverings and do not need to lay their eggs in water, unlike amphibians. These organisms are called dash. Nicely done. Crocodiles is a solid answer. Question number 29. It is known as a powerhouse of cell. Well reasoned. Mitochondria is the correct choice. Question number 30. Different organisms have dash the characteristics which enable them to adapt and thrive independently in their respective habitats. Perfect. Different is the correct choice. Question number 31. First name in scientific name of a dash name and next name is dash dash. The first name in the scientific name dash. The second name dash. Smart move. Species. Genus racial genus is an accurate answer. Question number 32. Mosquito belongs to what kingdom? Smart pick. Animal kingdom is the correct choice. Question number 33. Which domain contains common, single-celled organisms that lack nuclei? They can be found in the soil and animal intestines. Perfect. Bacteria is the correct choice. Question number 34. In the beginning, algae are included with Protista. Later in Cavalier-Smith classification, they are replaced to kingdom dash. Nice work. You chose Cremista and it is correct. Question number 35. High organisms' higher adaptability and diversity are placed in dash kingdom and most of them are autotrophic in nutrition. Excellent choice. Plantae is the right answer. Question number 36. The reproductive organs of plants in all these three groups are very inconspicuous, and they are therefore called dash. Great thinking. Cryptogams is the right choice. Question number 37. These plants have inconspicuous or hidden reproductive organs and bear naked embryos called spores. What are they called? Excellent. Cryptogams is a brilliant choice. Question number 38. who proposed two-kingdom classification of organisms at first? Who were the first to divide the creatures into two empires? Valid point. Carl Linnaeus is true. Question number 39. All reptiles have three-chambered heart. Reptile with four-chambered heart dash an example of a reptiles with four rooms. Solid response. Crocodile is a valid choice. Question number 40. A group of organisms from different classes but similar characteristics and evolutionary path can be grouped into dash. Well done. A phylum is the right choice. Question number 41. By separating organisms on the basis of their hierarchy of characteristics, which is the basic unit of classification. Clear logic. Your choice species is sound and 100% true. Question number 42. Organisms without nucleus and cell organelles belong to fungi, protista, cyanobacteria, archaeacteria. Bravo. And is the answer? Question number 43. What do you call the field of biology which deals with the process of identifying, naming, and classifying organisms? You chose taxonomy, and it is correct. Question number 44. Triploblastic means dash a skin is made of dash layers. The skin in the trustful creature's dash is built with layers. Well picked. 3 is the correct answer. Question number 45. Unicellular, prokaryotic organisms are placed in dash kingdom. The nucleus of the nucleus is included in the kingdom. Nicely done. Monia immunia is a solid answer. Question number 46. Triploblastic means skin is made of dash layers. Tristal organisms are the skin dash, creatures covered with layers. You got it? Your choice 3 is right. Question number 47. Function of ribosome. You're right. Synthesize proteins is the correct answer. Question number 48. Which among the following have open circulatory system? Arthropoda, mollusca, Annelida, coelenterata. Sharp thinking, and is the right choice. Question number 49. Hibernation and estivation is seen in dash organisms. Cold sleep and summer sleeps are visible dash in creatures. Nice selection. Amphibians is the correct and valid answer. Question number 50. Following is not the characteristic feature in mammals. Which of the following is not a mammalian characteristic? Correct. Cold blood is the right answer. Question number 51. Who classified the organisms into 6 kingdoms, namely bacteria, protozoa, chromista, planta, fungi, and animalia? On track. Cavalier Smith is the correct answer. Question number 52. Choose the correct types of biodiversity. I. Interaction diversity, species diversity, ecosystem diversity. Good job. Your answer I and IA works well here. Question number 53. The differences between living organisms within a species. This statement refers to which type of diversity? Strong choice. Genetic diversity is the right answer. Question number 54. Animals that have mammary glands for the production of milk to nourish their young ones belong to class dash. Great job. Mammalia is the accurate answer. Question number 55. What lead to a canal system that helps in circulating water throughout the body to bring in food and oxygen? Good thinking. Pores and holes is the right answer. Question number 56. Which kingdom has organisms that are multicellular, have cell walls, and make their food by photosynthesis? Ooh.
Correct response. Plant A is the most accurate answer.
Question number 57. What characteristic of life does the following describe? The genetic information that makes up an organism.
Right choice. Dana is the best answer. Question number 58. Thallophytes, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms belongs to which kingdom? Well reasoned. Plant I is the correct choice.
Question number 59. Natasha wants to do research on ecolomet organism. Which organism should Natasha select for study?
Right again. Tapeworm is a valid answer.
Question number 60. Select whether the given statement is true or false. In eukaryotes, nucleus is absent in the cell.
Exactly. False makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 61. The branch of biology that identifies, describes, classifies, and names the organism is called dash.
Bravo. Taxonomy is the answer. Question number 62. Unicellular prokaryotic organisms are placed in dash kingdom. Where is the nucleus of the nucleus? Nicely done. Monera monera is a solid answer.
Question number 63. Organisms with constant body temperature irrelevant to atmospheric temperature are known as dash.
Well reasoned. Endothermic is the correct choice. Question number 64. Bats different from aves in the following things. Bats are mainly contradictory with birds. Perfect. Potaja is the correct choice.
Question number 65. Plants and animals are placed into different groups. What is the basis of this classification?
Excellent choice. Presence of cell wall is the right answer.
Question number 66. These plants have a system of tubes to carry water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves.
Excellent. Vascular is a brilliant choice. Question number 67. Which among the following have scales? Amphibians, pisces, reptiles, mammals.
Smart pick, and is the correct choice.
Question number 68. Which phylum is comprised of acoelomate, bilaterally symmetrical and trypoblastic organisms? Correct response. Platyhelminthes is the most accurate answer.
Question number 69. Plants with undifferential body parts like roots, stem, and leaves are placed in subdivision.
Well done. Bryophyta is the right choice. Question number 70. Amphibians spend the first part of their lives in the fresh water breathing through gills. Nice work. You chose true and it is correct. Question number 71. Hibiscus rosa sinensis is the scientific name of hibiscus. Rosa sinensis is the dash A name.
Well picked. Species is the correct answer.
Question number 72. Presence of cell wall in eukaryotic organisms are the significant feature of kingdom dash. On track. Plant A is the correct answer.
Question number 73. Which one of following pairs was excluded from Whittaker's 5 kingdom classifications? Strong choice. Viruses and lichens is the right answer. Question number 74. Teeth are present in following organisms. Dash. The teeth are in the following organisms.
Solid response. All the above is a valid choice.
Question number 75. All the mammals are viviparous. An exception for viviparous condition in mammals dash. You're right. Both is the correct answer. Question number 76.
To which same taxon are organisms that belong to the same genus necessarily included?
Great thinking. Family is the right choice.
Question number 77. Animals which grow and live in the water somewhere only have sparse covering of hair. You got it? Your choice, marine animals, is right. Question number 78. The division of plants that lack the well-differentiated body design is called dash.
Valid point. Thalaphida is true.
Question number 79. Which grouping of organisms is considered to have the greatest amount of diversity?
Good thinking. Domain is the right answer.
Question number 80. All the reptiles poses 3-chambered heart. Reptile with 4-chambered heart dash.
You chose crocodile, and it is correct.
Question number 81. The diversity of organisms, whether microorganisms, animals, or plants, is known as? Exactly. Biodiversity makes sense, and it is right choice. Question number 82. Organisms belonging to dash are protected by a calcareous shell of hard calcium.
Nice selection. Mollusca is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 83. Forming groups based on similarities and differences of organisms is called dash. Clear logic. Your choice classification of organisms is sound and 100% true. Question number 84. Presence of cell wall around cell is the characteristic feature of this phylum.
Right choice. Plant-to-plant is the best answer.
Question number 85. Plant embryos in seeds have structures called cotyledons. The name of plant is?
Smart move. Angiosperm is an accurate answer.
Question number 86. In a kingdom, organisms from which taxon have the highest level of similarity? Great job. Order is the accurate answer. Question number 87. The presence of differences between organisms of the same species is known as? Good job. Your answer variation works well here. Question number 88. The binomial nomenclature has how many parts to its scientific naming system? Correct. 2 is the right answer. Question number 89. Which of the following consists of animals having skin covered with thorns? Right again. Echinodermata is a valid answer. Question number 90. The science of describing, classifying, and naming living things is called? Sharp thinking. Taxonomy is the right choice. Question number 91. Eukaryotic, unicellular heterotrophic organisms are placed in dash kingdom. Great job. Protista is the accurate answer. Question number 92. On the basis of mode of nutrition, organisms classified in which 2 types? You got it. Your choice, autotrophs and heterotrophs, is right. Question number 93. Which of the following are oviparous animals? Turtle, tiger, pigeon, whale. Nicely done. Turtle, pigeon is a solid answer. Question number 94. Which one is the most striking or character of the vertebrates? Right again. Presence of notochord is a valid answer. Question number 95. Species with closely related in the family are placed in the same dash. Nice selection. Order is the correct and valid answer. Question number 96. If 2 organisms are in the same class, they must also be in the same.
Smart pick. Phylum is the correct choice. Question number 97. System of placing organisms in groups based on similarities. You chose classification, and it is correct. Question number 98. Which of the following group of plants is called naked seeded plants?
Strong choice. Gymnosperms is the right answer.
Question number 99. Coelomate, exoskeleton, and jointed appendages are characteristics of.
Right choice. Arthropod is the best answer.
Question number 100. Fish differ with whales in dash. Fish whales differ in the following.
Smart move. All the above is an accurate answer.
Question number 101. What types of plants have seeds enclosed in fruits and have flowers? Correct response. Angiosperms is the most accurate answer.
Question number 102. Characteristics of organisms based on physical or anatomical traits. Well reasoned. Morphological features is the correct choice. Question number 103. Which group of the plant kingdom is phanerogam without the ovaries?
Great thinking. Gymnosperms is the right choice.
Question number 104. Identify the odd one out based on the basis of circulatory system.
Excellent choice. Balanoglossus is the right answer.
Question number 105. Who introduced the system of scientific nomenclature of organisms?
Well picked. Carolus Linnaeus is the correct answer. Question number 106. Which of the following organism does not belong to a Schelminthus?
Valid point. Earthworm is true. Question number 107. Planarians or parasitic animals like liver flukes are example of. Correct. Platyhelminthes is the right answer. Question number 108. Identify the hermaphrodite animal from the given alternatives. Exactly. Leech makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 109. Decaying organic material are called dash in a scientific way. Nice work. You chose saprophytes and it is correct. Question number 110. Dash is the base for hierarchy of classification of organisms. Clear logic. Your choice species is sound and 100% true. Question number 111. Method of naming organisms with two names of genus and species. Well done. Binomial nomenclature is the right choice. Question number 112. Who proposed the system of binomial nomenclature of organisms? Good job. Your answer, Carolus Linnaeus, works well here. Question number 113. Use decaying organic material as food and are therefore called. Excellent. Saprophs is a brilliant choice. Question number 114. Diatoms, amoebas, and paramecia are members of which kingdom? Good thinking. Protista is the right answer. Question number 115. Which organism is most primitive among the following options? On track. Bacteria is the correct answer. Question number 116. Viviparous animals with mammalian glands are grouped as dash. Perfect. Mammals is the correct choice.
Question number 117. Thread-like structured fungal body of fungus is known as dash.
You're right. Hyphae is the correct answer. Question number 118. Unicellular prokaryotic organisms are placed in dash kingdom. Solid response. Munra is a valid choice.
Question number 119. Grouping of organisms based on certain characters is known as.
Bravo. Classification is the answer. Question number 120. Who classified the living organisms into Animalia and Planta? Sharp thinking. Carl Linnaeus is the right choice. Question number 121. Rhizopus stolonifer is from which of the following phylums? Perfect. Glomeromycota is the correct choice.
Question number 122. Plants like Olothrix, Alva, Fucus, Spirogyra belongs to dash.
Correct response. Thalapheta is the most accurate answer. Question number 123. Flat and body ribbon-like structures consists in dash phylum. You got it? Your choice Platyhelminthes is right. Question number 124. Which locomotory organ does organisms of Echinodermata have? Well picked. Tube feet is the correct answer. Question number 125. The wide variety of living organisms that inhabit the planet. Excellent. Biodiversity is a brilliant choice. Question number 126. Segment of DNA that contributes to the expression of a trait. Correct. Gene is the right answer. Question number 127. Which of the following is the main feature of protochordata? Clear logic. Your choice presence of notochord is sound and 100% true. Question number 128. Which of the following organisms consists of Munera kingdom? Smart move. All is an accurate answer. Question number 129. Which level of classification is more inclusive than order? Smart pick. Phylum is the correct choice. Question number 130. Which of the following statement is correct about Animalia? Good thinking. Eukaryotic multicellular heterotrophic is the right answer. Question number 131. Which of the following consists of diploblastic organisms? Valid point. Cnidaria is true. Question number 132. Cartilaginous organ present on dorsal side of protochordata? On track. Notochordata is the correct answer. Question number 133. Name the group to which prawn, housefly, and spider belong. Exactly. Arthropod makes sense, and it is right choice. Question number 134. Which of the following is not an arthropod characteristic? Strong choice. Non-segmented body is the right answer. Question number 135. The feature that is not a characteristic of protochordata. Well done. Jointed legs is the right choice. Question number 136. Who proposed binomial nomenclature binomial doctrine dash? Good job. Your answer, Carl Linnaeus, works well here. Question number 137. Hard calcium carbonate structures are used as skeleton by. Nice work. You chose and it is correct. Question number 138. Yeasts, mushrooms, and mold are members of which kingdom? Sharp thinking. Fungi is the right choice. Question number 139. The first person who classified the species into two kingdoms. Bravo. Linnaeus is the answer. Question number 140. Which of the following organism is a member of Porifera? Nice selection. Cycon is the correct and valid answer. Question number 141. Method of naming organisms with two names is called dash. Great thinking. Binomial nomenclature is the right choice.
Question number 142. Who classified organisms into two groups for first time?
You chose Carl Linnaeus, and it is correct.
Question number 143. Open type of circulatory system is seen in phylums dash.
Right choice. Both is the best answer.
Question number 144. Which of the following organism is cold-blooded animal?
You're right. Crocodile is the correct answer. Question number 145. Locomotory organs in protozoans. Protozoa organisms dash.
Excellent choice. All the above is the right answer.
Question number 146. In which group of animals, coelom is filled with blood?
Nicely done. Arthropod is a solid answer.
Question number 147. Intestinal parasites are mostly confined to phylum dash.
Solid response. Nemathelminthus is a valid choice.
Question number 148. Which of the following organism is jawless vertebrate?
Right again. Lamprey is a valid answer.
Question number 149. Animals are divided into vertebrates and invertebrates.
Well reasoned. True is the correct choice.
Question number 150. What do kingdoms Animalia and Plantae have in common?
Great job. Both include multicellular organisms is the accurate answer.
Question number 151. Complete the analogy. Rhizobium, bacteria, diatoms, dash.
Solid response. Protist is a valid choice.
Question number 152. Cells that do not have a true nucleus are called dash.
Nicely done. Prokaryote is a solid answer.
Question number 153. The scientific name for an organism is made from the...
Well picked. Genus and species name is the correct answer.
Question number 154. Depending on the lifetime, plants are grouped as dash.
Nice work. You chose all the above and it is correct.
Question number 155. Which one of the following organisms is a bryophyte?
Correct response. Liverwort is the most accurate answer.
Question number 156. Their skin has hairs as well as sweat and oil glands.
Well done. Mammalia is the right choice.
Question number 157. Physical appearance of a trait an organism possesses.
Perfect. Phenotype is the correct choice.
Question number 158. Who developed the binomial system of classification?
Great job. Linnaeus is the accurate answer.
Question number 159. Which of the following does not belong to the group?
Strong choice. Funny is the right answer.
Question number 160. True or false? All plays are autotrophic.
Well reasoned. False is the correct choice.
Question number 161. Select the correct example of division pteridophyta.
Correct. Marching is the right answer.
Question number 162. Which of the given options is the lowest hierarchy?
Valid point. Family is true.
Question number 163. Connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda is?
Right choice. Peripatus is the best answer.
Question number 164. The way in which the organisms may have evolved is?
On track. Classification is the correct answer. Question number 165. What types of plants have tissues to carry fluids? Good thinking. Vascular is the right answer. Question number 166. bats differ from aves in the following things dash? You're right. Both is the correct answer. Question number 167. How to write Panthera tigris as a scientific name?
Sharp thinking. Panthera tigris is the right choice.
Question number 168. The closer animals are, the more dash they share.
Excellent choice. Levels of taxonomy is the right answer.
Question number 169. Identify the pairs of amphibians of plant kingdom.
You got it. Your choice, Funaria and Anthoceros, is right.
Question number 170. Where are Thalapheta plants predominantly found? You chose aquatic habitat, and it is correct.
Question number 171. Who proposed binomial nomenclature for organisms?
Clear logic. Your choice, Carl Linnaeus, is sound and 100% true. Question number 172. The smallest part of an animal's body is the dash. Nice selection. Cell is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 173. Which of the following have two-chambered heart?
Exactly. Tuna makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 174. Which among the following is exclusively marine? Right again, Echinodermata is a valid answer. Question number 175. Which of the following are known as cryptograms?
Great thinking. Pteridophyta is the right choice.
Question number 176. Which of the following is a parasitic protozoan? Good job. Your answer, entamoeba, works well here.
Question number 177. Basic unit of classification, dash, classification.
Smart pick. Species race is the correct choice.
Question number 178. All of the following have a nucleus except dash. Smart move. Bacteria is an accurate answer.
Question number 179. Genetic makeup of a trait an organism possesses. Excellent. Genotype is a brilliant choice.
Question number 180. The following possess tissue-level organization.
Bravo. Nematode is the answer. Question number 181. On what basis are living organisms classified? You got it. Your choice, both A and C, is right. Question number 182. What's the material of the cell wall of plants? You chose cellulose, and it is correct. Question number 183. Differentiation in segmental fashion occurs in? Correct. D is the right answer. Question number 184. No longer living or in existence on the planet? Right choice. Extinct is the best answer. Question number 185. Which of the following warm-blooded organisms? Nice work. You chose aves, and it is correct. Question number 186. Five Kingdoms classification was done by dash. Well done. Whitaker is the right choice.
Question number 187. Which of the following organism is symmetric?
Exactly. All of these make sense and it is right choice. Question number 188. The following possess open circulatory system. Smart pick. Arthropoda is the correct choice.
Question number 189. The two kingdoms that make up prokaryotes are?
Clear logic. Your choice, Archaea and bacteria, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 190. Moss and Marchantia are example of?
Good thinking. Bryophyta is the right answer. Question number 191. In taxonomic hierarchy, family comes between. Sharp thinking. Order and genus is the right choice. Question number 192. Which of the following is egg-laying mammal? On track. Duck-billed platypus is the correct answer. Question number 193. Identify unicellular alga of the following. Smart move. Ulothrix is an accurate answer. Question number 194. Dash are the amphibians of kingdom Planta. Valid point. Bryophytes is true. Question number 195. Who wrote the book, The Origin of Species? Well reasoned. Charles Darwin is the correct choice. Question number 196. What is the literal meaning of gymnosperms? Perfect. Naked seeds is the correct choice. Question number 197. Ribbon-like organisms are confined to dash. Great thinking. Platyhelminthes is the right choice. Question number 198. What is called the unit of classification? Nice selection. Species is the correct and valid answer. Question number 199. The locomotory organs of echinodermata are. You're right. Tube feet is the correct answer. Question number 200. Thread-like structure of fungal body dash. Nicely done. Hyphae is a solid answer. Question number 201. Which organism has three-chambered heart? Good job. Your answer frog works well here. Question number 212. Bacteria that live in marshy regions are. Strong choice. Methanogens is the right answer. Question number 213. The following phylum possess diploblastic. Solid response. Coelenterita is a valid choice. Question number 204. Holozoic nutrition process in dash phylum. Excellent. Porifera is a brilliant choice. Question number 205. What types of organisms have a backbone? Bravo! Vertebrates is the answer. Question number 216. Which of the following is a dicot plant? Excellent choice. P is the right answer. Question number 207. Porifera belongs to dash kingdom. Well picked. Animal is the correct answer. Question number 208. Animals with jointed legs belong to dash. Great job. Arthropod is the accurate answer. Question number 209. Nephridia is the main excretory organ of. Right again. Earthworm is a valid answer. Question number 210. Which among the following produce seeds? Correct response. Gymnosperms is the most accurate answer. Question number 211. The science of classification is called. You got it. Your choice taxonomy is right. Question number 212. The well-known intelligence primates are. Nice selection. Humans is the correct and valid answer. Question number 213. Banana tree carries large-sized leaves. Correct response. True is the most accurate answer. Question number 214. Plants are divided into how many groups? Nice work. You chose 5 and it is correct. Question number 215. Which organisms produce their own food? Clear logic. Your choice autotrophs is sound and 100% true. Question number 216. Which feature is shared by all insects?
Great job. External skeleton is the accurate answer.
Question number 217. Book Origin of Species is written by.
Sharp thinking. Darwin is the right choice.
Question number 218. One of the following is not an annelid. Valid point. Urchins is true.
Question number 219. 5 kingdom classification was given by.
Correct. Whittaker is the right answer. Question number 220. Animals that have hair or fur are dash. You chose mammals, and it is correct. Question number 221. Organisms having well-defined nucleus. Smart pick. Eukaryotic is the correct choice. Question number 222. Ulva belongs to which of the following?
On track. Kingdom Plantae, division Thalapheta is the correct answer.
Question number 223. Protozoans and algae are examples of. You're right. Protista is the correct answer. Question number 224. Locomotory organs in protozoans, dash.
Right choice. All the above is the best answer.
Question number 225. Amphibians do not have the following. Well done. Scales is the right choice. Question number 226. All prokaryotes are classified under. Good job. Your answer, Monera, works well here. Question number 227. Mollusca contains hemoglobin pigment.
Well reasoned. False is the correct choice.
Question number 228. Cyanobacteria is the example of dash. Strong choice. Monera is the right answer. Question number 229. The basic unit of classification is.
Great thinking. Species is the right choice.
Question number 230. What type of cells does Monera have? Smart move. Prokaryotic is an accurate answer. Question number 231. Following consists respiratory tree? Perfect. Echinoderms is the correct choice. Question number 232. What symmetry do all insects have? Excellent. Bilateral is a brilliant choice. Question number 233. Example for unicellular fungi dash. Bravo. Yes, east is the answer. Question number 234. Classification gives us an idea of. Good thinking. Evolution is the right answer. Question number 235. What is not poisoning among these? Right again. Crab is a valid answer. Question number 236. Which is the most specific taxon? Well picked. Species is the correct answer. Question number 237. Who wrote the book? Rijksjärft. Nicely done. Premises is a solid answer. Question number 238. Pseudocolumn can be found in dash. Exactly. Nematode makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 239. Hierarchy consists of dash stages. Solid response. 9 is a valid choice. Question number 240. Well-defined nucleus is absent in. Excellent choice. Blue-green algae is the right answer. Question number 241. Vertebrates don't have a backbone. Clear logic. Your choice false is sound and 100% true. Question number 242. Dog is an animal living in water. Nice selection. False is the correct and valid answer. Question number 243. What is the cell type of plants? Excellent choice. Eukaryotic is the right answer. Question number 244. What type of animals are pisces? You chose cold-blooded, and it is correct. Question number 245. Tube feet locomotion consists in. Valid point. Echinoderms is true. Question number 246. Which is not an aquatic animal?
Perfect. They would fly is the correct choice.
Question number 247. Latin word periferin means dash. You're right. Porpera is the correct answer. Question number 248. Who gave each organism two names? Bravo. Linnaeus is the answer. Question number 249. Tapeworm is a member of phylum. Nice work. You chose Platyhelminthes, and it is correct. Question number 250. Monera cell wall is made up of. On track. Peptidoglycan lipids is the correct answer. Question number 251. Do prokaryotes have a nucleus? Smart move. No is an accurate answer. Question number 252. Identify a member of Porifera. Great thinking. With Spong is the right choice. Question number 253. How do snails take in oxygen? Great job. Lungs is the accurate answer. Question number 254. Who wrote Origin of Species? Strong choice. Charles Darwin is the right answer. Question number 255. Two-chambered heart occurs in. Excellent. Fish is a brilliant choice. Question number 256. Which kingdom is prokaryotic? Solid response. Archaebacteria is a valid choice. Question number 257. Leech, Neris, earthworms are. Correct response. Annelida is the most accurate answer. Question number 258. Thalapheta is also known as. Good job. Your answer algae works well here. Question number 259. Pteridophyta do not have dash. Well picked. Flowers is the correct answer. Question number 260. Exoskeleton of arthropods is. Exactly. Cuticle makes sense, and it is right choice. Question number 261. Another name of Coelenterata? Right again. Cnidaria is a valid answer. Question number 262. Dash is the symbol of nature? Nicely done. Diversity is a solid answer. Question number 263. How many kingdoms are there? Smart pick. 6 is the correct choice. Question number 264. Herdmania are the example of? Correct. Protochordata is the right answer. Question number 265. Which is the correct order? Good thinking. Class, order, family, genus is the right answer. Question number 66. Elephantiasis is caused by. You got it. Your choice Wucheria is right. Question number 267. Scientific name describes. Right choice. Genus, species is the best answer. Question number 268. Choanocytes are unique to. Well done. Porifera is the right choice. Question number 269. Real organs are absent in. Sharp thinking. Coelenterata is the right choice. Question number 270. Causes disease no nucleus? Well reasoned. Bacteria is the correct choice. Question number 271. Which one is a true fish?
Great thinking. Dogfish is the right choice.
Question number 272. Amoeba belongs to kingdom.
You got it. Your choice Protista is right.
Question number 273. Wucheria belong to phylum.
Well reasoned. Nemathelminthus is the correct choice.
Question number 274. Fungi reproduces through. Nice selection. Spores is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 275. Who proposed hierarchy?
Correct. Linnaeus is the right answer.
Question number 276. Spider belongs to dash.
Exactly. Arthropod makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 277. Owl is a flying mammal. Clear logic. Your choice false is sound and 100% true.
Question number 278. Methanogens belongs to.
Right choice. Munera is the best answer.
Question number 279. The study of heredity.
On track. Genetics is the correct answer.
Question number 280. All vertebrates have.
Well picked. A backbone is the correct answer.
Question number 281. Biodiversity means.
Bravo. Diversity of life forms is the answer.
Question number 282. Kangaroos are dash.
Valid point. Marsupials is true.
Question number 283. Vertebrata is dash.
Nicely done. A subphylum is a solid answer.
Question number 284. Archer describes.
Sharp thinking. All the above is the right choice.
Question number 285. Echinoderms have.
Nice work. You chose water vascular system, and it is correct.
Question number 286. Algae belongs to.
Smart pick. Grumista is the correct choice.
Question number 287. Plants are dash.
Perfect. Autotrophs is the correct choice.
Question number 288. Ibs full form.
Great job. International Biological Society is the accurate answer.
Question number 289. Animals are.
Well done. All multicellular is the right choice.
Question number 290. Luca means. Smart move. Last universal common ancestor is an accurate answer.
Question number 291. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Good thinking. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is the right answer.